All right, hello, friends. Welcome to another Say It Loud podcast. Doing the intro, but this week it's a little bit different. So I'm here. My name's Matt, but I've also got Brett Winning and Brian Wolf here.
Hi.
Hello.
I wanted to share some intro love with everybody. It's always just me by myself.
Yeah, man.
You know,
Everybody touch somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hoosier's here, too. Don't forget about the Hoosier dog.
So he doesn't say much,
Nope.
usually.
No, he just licks the carpet and anything within licking reach.
So we're coming off our very first ACL podcast. So we had Sydney Wright on, and so we were doing it as part of the ACL Cares Academy, which was, we found out, it was a great area, open area, right next to the wine lounge. So perfect for relaxing because there was programs going on there. AMF, HAAM, Sims, all of our podcast friends were there. We were fortunate enough to work with HAAM to do what was called HAAM Saves Lives. And we had Sydney as our guest for the first weekend. So we talked about her recovery from her accident. You know, she's writing again. Performing again.
Yeah. She's walking even. I saw a Insta story last night without the boot. Took the boot off and she's walking. That's amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah. So we were very happy to be there. The stage for us, we were facing I didn't even know what the setup was going to be. If it was going to be like a tent or a booth. But yeah, there was actually a little stage there. And we were facing the main entrance, the Barton Springs entrance for ACL. So and we were probably one of the first things that happened there. So it was just really the hardcore people were showing up.
Really, it was when the Star Wars played and people just running through the gates.
If you've heard the Star Wars theme at ACL, you know you're a hardcore ACL guy.
Yeah.
Or gal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good people watching.
Yeah, I used to live over there near Barton Springs. So every Friday, Saturday morning, I would just hear that.
Wake up to that.
It kind of pumped me up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, people sprinting, I guess for Paul McCartney, right?
I don't know what it would be for.
I don't know
like,
if they would get there that early to maybe
stay there
it is
all
Paul.
day. Yeah.
People running, because I could see that. Like, people bought their ticket, and they're like, I'm going to wait 8 hours for Paul McCartney right at the front.
Yeah.
Got my diaper, got my Depends
Yeah, I was
on.
going to say, you're going to have to pee at some point, unless you're not human.
Maybe you have a partner in crime. I saw usually there was pairs of people sprinting, so maybe it was like you would tag team that, and one would go get drinks and beer while the other stayed and fought for the space. Who knows?
I like the way it felt. Maybe I didn't go last year, but since they put the Barton Springs stage on the other side near Barton Springs, it felt really open.
It did.
Much more than it did in the past, which I really enjoyed. Especially, when it got hot out there. It was good weather. It was sunny, but those little clouds that came out were lifesavers.
They were nice.
Yeah, it was solid. I mean, there was threat of rain all weekend, and
Yeah.
I think it only happened really yesterday from what I heard.
Yeah.
Didn't really rain
I think
much
it was
on
quick
us.
too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't stay very long.
Yeah, it was perfect. So we were set
So
up
pro.
in this area, and they had a bunch of hay stacks with nice blankets on them, so people could come and chill, sip their wine, learn about the community involvement with the organizations that we mentioned.
Well, crafts of wine, bags.
Yeah,
bean
$30
bags,
for a carafe of wine, which actually not a bad deal because people were slinging those all day.
Dude, yeah.
I don't understand
I
why
saw
it's-
those everywhere.
Yeah. What's a rough... I don't know how people just don't get rosé because it was hot. I know Joe, who's MIA right now, but Joe at noon got the carafe of Tempranillo, which is like this really heavy wine. When we went to go see Jackie on Saturday, and he just couldn't finish it. And I was like, of course you can. It's a bottle of heavy red wine on a warm Saturday.
Nice bottle of syrup on a warm day. Yeah.
But yeah, Jackie was there. We saw her kill it at the Tito's tent on Saturday.
Yeah, Jackie Vincent.
So many people were there.
Yeah,
it was crazy, yeah.
It was excellent. It was
she
Power
just killed
Trio,
it, yeah.
her and her band. And I hadn't seen a live performance of her with the full band in a while. I've seen her solo by herself a few times, but that band, wow, for a trio, can just really fill the room. And I was also impressed by her stage presence.
Oh, yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
Definitely working that crowd really well.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the set, she was Brian and I were talking about it yesterday when we were playing about she had 7 minutes left in a 6-minute song, and so for her minute she asked her band to play some music so she could dance to and wipe the sweat off of her face and her guitar.
That was awesome. Yeah,
That was great.
yeah. You could tell she was feeding off it too. I think.
Yeah.
It's always cool when you're with an artist and you're like really close and you can see them feeding off the crowd as you're kind of feeding off them too, and you're having this really awesome experience. And for me, that's one of my favorite parts of ACL is seeing. Well, Jackie's not new for me, but I think for a lot of people, she was new and kind of a breath of fresh air, and it was cool. I think in terms of the ACL care, seeing Jackie, it's fun to see when Austin actually gets to be a part of ACL, not just the backdrop, but actually, our artists are there.
I think
organizations are there.
Even Jackie mentioned that, like, thank you to ACL for not forgetting about, where you are.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I thought she made a good point there, and I felt that too. I felt like Austin was well represented in the festival. I mean, no Fair City Fire, but
Yeah, say it loud, man. We were there in spirit.
Say It Loud was there.
Yeah, Say It Loud podcast.
Fair City Fire next year? Question mark?
Yeah.
Huh?
Double down. Little podcast, little performance.
Huh? C3?
Yeah. That was pretty cool. I mean, when they were doing the sound check for our podcast, they were rocking some Shake Your Bones. I saw some people dancing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Fun,
That was cool to hear through the loudspeakers. Because even though it was a small stage, it was like, it was a legit setup. I mean, it was probably one of the most powerful systems we've probably played through. Maybe, I don't know. Stubbs is close, I guess, but
yeah,
it was awesome.
That guy that was running sound, like he told me, he's like a product, representative for like all those like speakers that were there. I can't remember what company it was, but like he's like gonna blast this shit to like show people these speakers work, man. Yeah.
The Sydney pod, I think, coming up, that came through really well too. He knew what he was doing. That's for sure. What were some of your highlights, do you think, outside of doing what we did?
I mean, Paul McCartney, man, that was so cool. Paul McCartney, Metallica, David Byrne was so just hilariously weird and awesome. Like, just kind of what I was hoping for. And Father John Misty was great. Yeah. That's pretty much most of like my top stuff for sure.
Well, I caught a few surprising acts that they're probably not surprising to most people, but I had never heard of them. And Sir Sly was one of them. Saw him live, and he was awesome.
That was cool. Yeah, they killed it.
A lot of energy from that full band, and like you could just feel it in the crowd. It was, even if you weren't like super into whatever was going on, you had to be, just because of like the energy in that area. Another one was, we checked them out for a little bit. Was Naked Giants.
Yeah, on the BMI stage.
On the BMI stage.
They were good, yeah.
And they were solid, man.
Cool.
There was a little 3-piece kind of grunge, rocky, indie pop kind of stuff. It was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And another one, I knew her. I've heard her interviewed before, but seeing her live, Brandy Carlisle. That was one of the most moving performances of the weekend, I thought.
That was
so
great.
much emotion into it. You could tell she sings with the purpose, and her band play like it's all a family. From what I know, they all live together on this compound somewhere. I don't know if it's in New Mexico or somewhere
in Seattle.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Somewhere out west. Yeah.
Or at least that's where she lives there now. I heard her say that.
But they definitely have this closeness. They did really cool 3-part harmony.
Oh man, yeah, they broke it down. They're a full band, and then she was talking about the times, if she still lives on the compound or whatever, but when she was with her band, which I think the bassist and guitarist are twin brothers, and they would just do, sit by the fire or wherever and just do 3-part harmony songs and like a cappella stuff, and they did that and then like from the first note they hit, you just heard the gas, like the air taken out of the crowd. It was just like
It was
like
complete
people just
silence.
it was really moving.
That was great.
In the best way. Yeah.
And her and a lot of other artists seem to be using the platform to kind of speak about their like political views and stuff, and kind of actually like mostly to try to get people to vote in November, which I thought was cool. Yeah, that was definitely a theme.
Even our stage
go vote
had it
next month. Yeah,
it was pretty great.
Brandy was cool, like about telling her story about like her family and all that stuff. I thought that was pretty inviting to tell that many people about what's going on with you, but like she's so comfortable in her skin and stuff that
it was great.
It was pretty inspiring, I thought.
Yeah, it was definitely, it had just good feels. There was never it didn't feel negative from anybody that was preaching about being the political side. There was never like a negative feel. It was just kind of like a positive, uplifting
it's cool. Yeah,
message. It was great.
Married to her wife, and they have kids, and that's not politics to her. That's just her life.
That's
what she just wants
to
live her life. Yeah.
I remember at one point, and I feel like I know it was during that little 3-part harmony song. I looked up and there's you saw it too. I looked up in the sky and there's a red-tailed hawk just doing circles right above the stage. It was maybe about 100 yards in the air, maybe somewhere around there, but it was fucking epic.
Just hawking it.
Dude, just big circles, this giant bird, it was awesome.
Like if you would have had a music overlay to a video of a hawk flying, it probably would have been the perfect music for it. It was very spiritual. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
And yeah, all the big bands. I mean, it sounds lame to be like, yeah, Metallica, Paul McCartney were awesome. Cause,
I know that's like the basic answer, but
now you know why
Yeah.
they are. It's because they put on a 2-hour show that people are really into, and
just
a lot of songs and
every second of both of those sets were just phenomenal. I thought, like there was so well thought out, and like, Metallica did like the Stevie Ray Vaughan thing.
That was really cool,
which was really unique. I never saw that coming, especially just bass and guitar like that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, Rob played bass solo, Cliff's bass solo from Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That was a cool moment.
And just those dudes, like in Metallica, to see them playing as hard as they do for that long, I'd be exhausted after like 2 songs.
I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Like 6-minute songs, and it's just the whole time just
And I knew that was a thing, but I've never actually seen it live, I guess. So it's like it was even that much more impressive to see it in person. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was my first experience
doing that.
Seeing them live, and I'm not like, it's not typically the music I would sit down and listen to, but because of Matt, I've kind of learned they've grown on me, and then seeing them live it was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Heavy. That was heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, just that's why you go to see live music. I mean, maybe you wouldn't listen to it on a record. I'm sure there were some bands this week, or I don't know that I would listen to Sir Sly again on a record necessarily, but I would see him again in concert.
That's how I felt about Churches. I mean, they were great, but I mean, I'm not going to probably enjoy their album later, but like live, there was something about just the dance energy and the whole thing that was going on. It was perfect. So
that seems like it was the theme of the weekend, if there had to be one, is like live performance. I mean, that's it. I mean, all these, records and stuff coming out and that are overproduced and all this, it's great and stuff just because we have the technology and we're able to do that, and that's great. But when you see everything live, man, it's just it's a whole nother world.
It's a very human experience,
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Absolutely.
I got the sense too that they all felt. I mean, Paul and I think Metallica mentioned that too, but just being thankful or loving the crowd for being into it. They've played thousands of shows already, but they still get that feeling, when they get up there, because they're still playing for new people. I think James was like, "Hey, raise your hand if this is your first Metallica show," and I feel like it was like 80% of the crowd. And I don't think nothing changes about that feeling. I'm sure.
That's the beauty of it. Like, that's a really good opportunity to see a band like that, because you get to see a lot of things, but like, maybe you don't want to drop all the money to see Metallica by themselves, or Paul especially by himself. Like those kind of legacy acts, like they're going to be really expensive to go see them play at like the Frank Irwin Center or something like that, or 360 Amphitheater. But at a festival, you kind of get it all for one price, which is like a really good opportunity to go see a band you've never seen before that you just want to check off your list.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
It's like the Napsters of festivals. That's why I love City Limits. Yeah. That's why I love Napster so much back in the days. Like you really got to
free.
Well, yeah, but you got to dig into music that that you probably would never spend the money to go buy. Just and then all of a sudden you become fans of all these artists that you probably wouldn't have given a chance to just because of money.
Yeah. And like after seeing Paul in person, obviously I've always loved the Beatles. I always loved Paul, but like seeing him in person, I mean, it's amplified that. Like now I'm just the biggest fan of him. Like, just
everything. I mean, going back to what we were saying earlier with just the performance, like, what is he, 75, 76?
So, yeah.
76,
yeah.
I think I saw.
Yeah. And 2 hours of nonstop. I mean, that guy was incredible. Just didn't stop. And same goes for Metallica. I know they're in their 50s. It's like I couldn't believe it. I was tired just standing watching for 2 hours, and I'm half their age.
It's like, this is a lot of standing.
My feet hurt.
My calves are so sore.
I'm going to sit down in the grass
in the middle of all these people.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it was great. It was awesome.
feel like the other winner this weekend was the way they structured the men's urinals.
Ooh.
A lot has happened in porta potty technology in the last few
That's
years
true.
that I
That's a
didn't know
good point.
about.
Yeah.
Great, walk in there. The troughs have like walls between them now.
Yeah.
You don't have to go into a crammed in little porta potty unless you have to take an unfortunate festival shit, which probably would have been terrible when it was
Yeah.
that hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it
that'd have been
happens,
bad. I actually like the way that the entrance, they had like several
Yep.
exits and entrances around the festival, and it never at any point, and we mentioned it, how they widened it never at any point kind of felt crammed, unless you put yourself in that situation in front of a stage trying to see a show. But like, there's never a moment where I was like, oh, I can't get out of this crowd. It was great.
Yeah, just walking out at night.
Yeah, that was
After,
Yeah,
like,
that
the
was-
headliner. Whew.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's nothing you could do about that. That's
Yeah,
just
you could just wait
so many
around
damn
if you
people.
wanted to, I guess, and
Yeah.
wait for things to clear out. But it was great, man.
Get some water. I love the water stations too. They had people actually pouring it. They had
Yes.
like some of these attendants were double fisting the water streams.
Yeah, it was great. I
was
love that, the
delicious.
ability to bring in your own water bottle and you could just stay hydrated. It's very important at those festivals.
I was 0 for 3 on the joke. I go up there and I was like, I'll get the Grey Goose, please. Just straight face, no smile, nothing.
You're
Right.
getting water.
Yeah,
Yeah,
keep
they-
walking.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
This ain't no comedy festival.
That was
Cool.
great. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be there next Sunday,
14th, I believe.
14th,
Yeah.
12:30 in the ACL Cares area. They have a stage there. Again, the cool seats. Good place to relax when you're by the wine lounge. But we'll be with AJ Vallejo's new project, Love and Chaos.
Yep.
So we'll be working with HAAM again. Johnny Gowdy. We'll have to check, but we'll
I
link
think
it if
he's
it
on
is.
Sunday too.
Yeah. And but he was with Jackie Venson for AMF. Actually, we saw all of our friends there.
Yeah.
Emily, who's going to be
Emily Miller.
who's
Yeah.
on a future but maybe already recorded episode of Say It Loud with AMF. James, our friend at Sims.
Yep.
Dr. Patricia was there. So it's cool. It's fun to see a community of people that we've been able to kind of build through the podcast. Get to know.
And
see 'em
Fair
all
City
there.
Fire, too.
Yeah.
We've worked with those guys on doing the Too Damn Hot Affair
Mhm.
a couple years ago, doing 2 years in a row with Sims and little fundraisers with that. So it's just been a nice little community we've created for ourselves, and also that Austin's created for everyone, which is why we're all here.
Yep. And Sydney, it was awesome. I mean, the first moment I saw her walking towards the stage, she had her boot on, but she looked happy to be there, be out. I get the sense that she's happy to be writing again and working through this, and that's kind of what we talked about during the live podcast. Her new album, Seiche. I mean, you can already get the single online, but the full album comes out November 9th. So check out SydneyWrightMusic.com or check her out on Spotify. She's got music videos for Seiche, a really cool one.
Mm-hmm.
We very much enjoyed having her on and are happy to see that, she's progressing. She's getting back into it. Thank you. If you guys enjoy the live podcast, and we'll see you next week at ACL. We'll do like a line for autographs. Just wait off the stage. We'll see. you
Yeah,
there.
just be patient.
Yeah.
I mean, don't
There's a lot to get through.
Don't rush the stage.
Yeah, don't
We're all
UFC
grown-ups.
this and punch anybody in the crowd or anything.
Enjoy.
Wake up in the afternoon, but I feel alright.
Hello. Welcome. Come on over.
Daylight.
Welcome, I guess. Welcome to ACL. My name is Matt Jones, the host of the Say It Loud podcast. We're a local music podcast. We're very happy to be here. Our first ACL experience. I've been loving it. Everybody running in at noon to the Star Wars music was my favorite part so far. All the hardcores are here. So I do this podcast with Fair City Fire, the greatest rock band in Austin, Texas right now. We've got Joe Valadez,
Hello.
Clint Manning,
Hello.
Brian Wolf,
Hey.
and Brett Winning.
How you doing?
So we've been doing this for a few years, and one of our favorite guests, she's been on a couple times, probably, to me, one of the greatest Austin musicians as well. This is amazing. If you're walking in, you get to see two of the community's best artists. But we want to say welcome, thank you to Sydney Wright for being here. Thank you, Sydney.
Hey, anytime.
And
Hello.
we're here to talk today about how HAAM saves lives, which is a great sentence out of context if you don't know what HAAM is, but it's actually the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians, and they provide access to health insurance, preventative and wellness care to local Austin musicians. All these guys here are involved in it. They've all gotten insurance from HAAM, so we're very close to them, and we're very glad to have them in our community. So how does it feel, guys, to be at ACL here, day one?
This is great.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it's not
It's
bad.
a beautiful day out here.
Isn't it great to be in the at the festival in the city where you make music?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah,
It's fun to see how Zilker changes.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to remember where I take naps. It's somewhere over here, but I can't right now.
It's under that oak tree right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sydney, welcome. For those of you who don't know, Sydney's been through a lot the last few months. She's been sharing it on social media, but she was in a pretty bad accident a few months ago, and I know you've been very open with it to your followers, to your community. But do you want to share kind of what you've been going through the last few months here?
Sure. In June, I survived a hit and run, and I was riding one of those awesome Lime bikes that are amazing and
Yeah, the
really
little motor
efficient and
scooters.
cost effective. And so I got hit in the street, and then I woke up in the ambulance, and then now I have like lots of metal in this leg, which makes me bionic technically, and I have a broken wrist and some spine fractures, but I have all my teeth.
Excellent.
And yeah, I've just been
The bright
getting back
side.
to walking and repairing. I've never been hurt before. I've never had a stitch.
No kidding.
So it's been a real learning experience.
So you just woke up out of nowhere. I mean, in an instant, your life was just changed around.
Yeah, I was on my way to yoga.
And
Gonna get my fitness on.
well,
Ruined.
yeah.
Sorry.
What's been impressed me a lot about the process that you've been going through. Well, number one, you're already playing live music again, which I will give a round of applause to, because that's very exciting to see out there.
It is.
But for those months, what kind of things were you going through? I know you shared it with us, but there were skin grafts and bones healing, a lot of surgeries. What's been happening to you that you've had to recover from?
Well, being in the wheelchair, walking is a huge freedom, and I did not know that until now. That's a big thing to learn. And I had to move all the rugs out of my house and move my bed. I had a bed that's like 5 feet in the air to put all my gear underneath, and moved that out.
So it's a totally new way of living.
Yeah, my whole apartment changed.
Yeah.
And then I notice when there's not 3 feet of space in places now, and when there's no ramps, I don't know. It's made me very aware of things and very thankful also for many things as well.
Was your mindset after the accident even on music, performing again?
Oh yeah, I was like, I have to. I'm playing a side project with it's my side project. It's called Black-a-Lack, and they're amazing. And I was supposed to go to LA and Seattle with them, and I was telling my doctors I'll just take the wound vac on the plane because I have to go to Seattle. And my doctor was like, he gave me that nod that my grandma does. She's like,
Yeah, sure.
that's gonna happen. Yeah, so I was already planning on getting back out from day one.
And that first time that you were able to get out there, which was in August, it must have been a bunch of feelings coming out with that first performance?
Kind of. I played my first show from a wheelchair, and so it was mostly stop stomping your foot, that hurts. Okay, and then can't play guitar, the wrist. I don't know. It was mostly about getting past the things that were keeping me physically from doing it. But at my second show, I did start crying during my song Seiche, which one of the lines is, I'm not broken, don't need saving. And I started crying, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm crying in front of everybody. It was weird.
So your own song hit you in a new way that you never even saw it before, yeah. So Seiche is her single. You should check it out. Fantastic music video.
Thanks.
When you were going through your surgeries and I think you just said you were about to start physical therapy soon, so this is still happening, as we're speaking. I mean, it's great that you're able to get up here, but you still have a road ahead. Are you finding inspiration in living through this?
Yeah, I just started writing again this past week, which is funny. Everybody is like, oh my gosh, are you getting so much writing done with all this time off? And I was like, no, I'm sad.
Okay.
I'm trying to walk and make smoothies and not cry because my blood pressure's off. And it's been really weird.
Yeah. Is it one of those things where every week you have a new goal, or do you want to do something new, whether it's, carry an open glass of water or something back to the couch? As basic
It's not.
as that?
That's
Okay.
actually very huge without the pit sticks
Yeah.
carrying things. Anyway,
The pit sticks?
actually, it's coming in maybe not intentional waves, but like this morning I went to the doctor and now I can like start lifting weights or leg press and running if it doesn't hurt and doing
No
the
kidding, wow.
elliptical. So I'm like, yes, that's what I need. It's hard to not be able to work out for me.
That inspired me so much. I'm going to go use the elliptical. I have no excuse not to do that.
Not working out is one of
Yeah.
the easiest things to me. Comes naturally.
So, we're talking here about, how HAAM saves lives. So HAAM is one of the great resources in Austin we have for local artists. What does an organization like HAAM do for artists that are in situations like yours? I mean, how can they help?
They I was having trouble getting a hold of a doctor, and they were like making calls and finding other options and alternatives, just like little things like that when you're going through it is like such a huge help. And just having the support to know that it's not just me and my family, like I have a whole support system.
Yeah, it seemed to me that just from following it on Facebook and social media is that the outreach of the musical community to you was just incredible. I mean, just watching it made my heart a little warm and soggy. It was nice. It was nice to see.
And y'all are part of it. I got your card.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just going through cards.
Shout out
noticed
to
that.
Sarah.
Yeah,
Sarah,
Yeah, so sweet.
So much love was coming back to you. Can you even put into words kind of what that means to get a response from your peers?
Yeah, it totally, like, on hard days, I went through those cards just to, like, get encouraged. Because it's not just when they send it to you. It's, like, perpetually you can go back and revisit those words and, like, get pumped again.
Yeah,
important.
I can tell. You can feel it. I'm starting to feel something.
Yeah,
too.
I get the tingles myself. Yeah, it's
And-
huge. I'd imagine.
I think one of the greatest things about the bad situation was the fact that you were so open and transparent. I mean, every day you could see what you were going through, and it didn't seem like you had to worry about sharing this with people. I mean, where do you get the strength to let people know what you're going through and to show it? Was it just part of, you think, getting through it?
My mom told me not to post those pictures of my, like, open wounds, but I was like, these are real life body. Everybody has an ankle, like, and everybody's going through something, whether or not it's like a busted up leg or, whatever you're dealing with. It's important to, like, know that other people are doing. It's not, social media is not just a highlight reel.
Right.
It should be about everything.
Yeah,
It's
I agree
helpful.
with that.
Yeah, and there was a great response from that. I know for you guys, for the Fair City Fire guys, you're all been enrolled through HAAM for the health insurance, and it's not, fortunately they can help with certain emergencies or help guide Sydney, but it's also focused a lot on wellness and prevention. And can you guys speak to a little bit about what you've been able to do through HAAM?
We got some pretty sweet custom fitted earplugs, which are amazing.
Yeah, you want to hear when you get old?
Yeah, I do.
That'd be
yeah.
nice.
What?
Yeah.
Ham will do that. Ham will help you out. With those ears.
It's nice being. I haven't been to the doctor's office in like 12 years, and then I enroll with HAAM and get insurance and finally get in, and I feel good. It's another pressure that they take off your shoulders.
They also offer dental services.
Boom.
Yeah.
Been able to go to the dentist. Get a little credit for that.
It's just it's all around just nice to know that they have your back if anything, from something minor to something serious happens. It's like they're there to help. It's really cool.
Yeah, you should be going to the dentist at least once every 6 years or so. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. At least, whether you need to or not, okay? So HAAM will help you out with that. What would you say, because they obviously cover local Austin musicians, but there's so many that aren't covered and, may end up in a situation where it's too late or they have something happen and HAAM can't help them out. Open enrollment period is coming up, I think, very soon. So go visit the HAAM desk.
November 1st.
Yeah.
November 1st.
November 1st.
So do sign up with that if you're a local artist, or encourage your musician friends to do so. But what would you say to somebody who's not covered, that maybe doesn't have the protection that they probably need to have, they're not thinking about?
Why though?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's pretty easy to sign up, especially if you're a musician in Austin. Like, if there's something like HAAM, just do that. Like, I don't know. That's a great thing that we have.
It's way too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had Ricky, one of our favorite people. I don't know if she's here from HAAM, but she's not here. But she called them the Young Invincibles.
Yeah.
The you don't need the insurance until you find out it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we appreciate the work that they do in the community here.
Are the Young Invincibles playing at ACL this year?
They are, yeah. Check them out in the Tito's tent. Yep. Sydney, for you, you're starting to write now. Do you have any? Are you in a place now where you're starting to set musical goals? Do you want to have songs written, or do you want to? I know you have a new album coming out, and that's on your plate.
Yeah, the album's really a big focus. It's coming out November 9th. We're doing a show at Cheer Up Charlie's. It's going to be out everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm stoked about that. And then I was just starting songwriting again. I just found all these old songs that I totally forgot I wrote. So I'm going to revisit those and polish them up and see and look towards recording the next round.
Yeah. Are you? Do you just find yourself at home now, just playing? I mean, is that?
I got this one of my friends, Mike Manowitz, gave me this Casio. You remember those with the speakers and the beat?
Yes.
And you can change the little things. So I've been
That's awesome.
hanging out with that.
It's got like a bossa nova setting on it.
Yes.
Something like that.
It's like a samba feel.
Yes.
Make your own beats. But you actually do that. I think you're one of the first people I've seen in Austin, or at least one of my favorites, that you're a looper. Can you describe to the thousands of people that are attending our podcast right now what looping is?
Looping is where you put down a track that's a certain number of measures long and you overdub on top of it incessantly until you can't hear anything anymore and it all blows up. Just kidding.
Perfect.
No, I have 3 tracks and I take them in and out to make songs and it's super fun.
Excellent.
How do you know when there's enough layers or enough tracks?
You always think less is more. Always. What's the least thing I can do?
That's what you should think, you're saying.
Yeah, it's the fight, the struggle of a looper.
Yeah, if you're like 12 minutes in the song and haven't said a word yet, you should probably wrap it up.
Consider it.
The album comes out in November, is that right?
November 9th, yeah.
All right. What's it called?
Seiche.
Seiche is the album title. It's a single. The epic music video that you were kind of an actor. You had a little bit of an actor role in that. You're the star
I was
of
the
it.
lead.
Yeah,
No, I was actually
costumes
the untranscended queen. There was a transcended dancer queen that was also the main character,
Yeah.
I think. So.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Do you think moving forward, everything you've been through, you can take positives away from it? Because you're such an optimist when I see you these days. Do you think you can move through this and be an inspiration to other artists? Because I think that you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it sucks, but yeah. I mean, I have so much support and love. I'm very loved, and that's another thing that I learned through this. And it's like, how could I not?
Yeah. Well, we love you for sure. And I think we were talking about this the other day on a podcast, as being a part of the Austin music community is love. And it's very supportive. A lot of bands are trying to accomplish the same thing. Everybody's trying to get noticed, trying to play their best. But the support has been incredible. We're pretty lucky to be in Austin. I mean, we've got the services here, but we get to see music like this every night, really.
No,
Open up the doors.
Yeah, it does feel really lucky to be here. I mean, it's like, yeah, we've got ACL and we've got, like those other festivals that happen. South by's another big one, but like, man, we've got great music every night in this town. Just gotta go out and see it. Like, we're really lucky to have that, and to be a part of that is such an honor. So.
Yeah, I'm a sound engineer, and it's really nice to run sound for good music every day. That's super, super good.
Yeah, I think as a musician, seeing other music's really inspiring too, so you can kind of permanently be inspired by all the great music that happens here.
Let's do the November 10th. That's the Seiche album.
9th.
9th.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got you.
Good, you passed, Joe. The more you know with Joe. So you'll be able to download that. You can already check out the single online. Fair City Fire, the Say It Loud podcast. We're at sayitloudpodcast.com. Very easy. Since we're ACL official now, we decided we'd get a domain name. So I think that's the order of events, pretty much. That's how you do things.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for coming out. Please do. A lot of these folks over here are our friends. Austin Music Foundation, Sims Foundation, We've done a lot of shows and have recorded a lot of podcasts with them as well. So please go see what ACL Cares has to offer here. It's a lot about services available to musicians in our community and to others. So
And a good number of
we love
things
it, yeah.
all the way down the way too. That's pretty
Yeah.
good stuff. But say hello to everybody in this tent right here.
Very
for sure.
friendly folks. And thank you. Enjoy ACL. Jackie Venson, one of our podcast veterans, is going to be playing tomorrow.
She'll be out there tomorrow.
12:45 Tito's tent. Check that out.
Absolutely.
And enjoy the festival, guys. We really appreciate it. We'll see you later.
Thanks for stopping
Adios.
by, everybody. Thank you.
We clung, wind up, winding down, giving the ground the sip. We head home, head up, heading out. Pull up the whip, I'm climbing out with all my ladies, stepping in and standing out, the fellas waiting. Start sipping and smoking, no, never not holding. Huddle up, get a picture taken. We close the club down, let me get the last round. It's a party and it's popping. We got the beat dropping, in our heads we fly. We don't need no height, just homies hanging on the street lights. It's that time of night. That time of night. Turn it up, new step, letting head down, loosening up our hips, they circle us. Who let all the dogs out? Hit 'em with the flex, now I won't be with you when you leave. Could have been my brother, but you misconceive. See, you got Gemini's, but that don't work on me. Not gonna be another ornament on an ego tree. We close the club down, let me get the last round. It's a party and it's popping. We got the beat dropping, in our heads we fly. Don't need no height, just homies hanging on the street lights. At that time of night, give 'em up all the tools and tricks you gotta lose and live with. Light 'em up with a ride or dies, you gotta choose to chill with. All of us forget to regret a good night well wasted. Got a little bit of time, we're taking love, we're making vines, we're breaking all the hitters, knowing we be rolling when we roll up. You ain't gotta know us, come on over, wanna toke up. Keep it glowing bright, you don't need an invite, just homies hanging under street lights. It's that time of night.